Hello everyone, this is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today we're going to talk about the top 3 things most people don't know about Carmax. I'm surprised it took me this long to actually do a video on this, as we did a lot of business, with clients who, of course, I see that they finance with Carmax and things of that sort. So let's go straight into it. The number one thing I think that most people don't know about Carmax is that they will actually purchase your vehicle without you having to buy a car from them. So what does that mean? That means that if you have a car, let's say for example, and you don't have to have it paid off, okay, but you do have to pay the difference if you do have a negative equity position. But if you have a positive equity position, then you can also get a check from the dealership. Now, for those who don't know this, some dealerships will purchase your vehicle without you buying from them, but Carmax, they specialize in this without, of course, there's no haggle and things of that sort, which I'll get to that a little bit later. But either way, how it works is real simple. Let's say, for example, you have a car that you have the title to, and you just want to sell it, right? You just go to Carmax, and of course, they're going to evaluate it. They're going to give you an offer, and if you like the offer, they'll cut the check the same exact day. And if you say, you know what, I want to think about it, they'll give you an evaluation report, and they'll give it to you. Pretty much a promise to give you this same amount if you come back within a certain time frame, okay? So that's number one. Number two is if you have, well, of course, the number two explanation of that is if, let's say, for example, you owe, let's say $15,000 on your car, but it's only worth, let's say, $14,000. So if it's worth $14,000, they'll do the same exact process. But again, they can't get the title from the lien holder, which is, of course, the lender that you have, right? Until that balance is paid off. They're not going to lose $1,000 to get a car, okay? Unless it's like a classic, but again, nobody would never do anything like that. That's stupid. So either way, you guys may hear my family in the background. So that's what I get for doing a video on a Saturday morning. But either way, so you can do that, right? And all you have to do is just pay the $1,000 difference. So if you pay the $1,000 difference, of course, everybody's happy. You're probably like, well, why would I do something like that? Well, I mean, a lot of times you may go to a place, right? And they'll give you a lower evaluation for your vehicle. Lower valuation for your vehicle. And sometimes the numbers just don't work out. Or you don't want to go back and forth. You just want to just get the number, be done with it, sell it, move on from it. I know a lot of times people, they want to sell things online, like on Craigslist or wherever. But then sometimes you always have that thing in the back of your mind, like, man, I know there's something wrong with the car or whatever. And sometimes people will call you after you sold the car to them and say, man, you didn't tell me this. And, so again, when you sell a car to a major brand or dealership or something like that, once you sell it, you're done. They won't bother you again. All right. So that's how that process works. Also, too, on the positive side, let's say, for example, your car is worth $15,000 and you owe, let's say, $12,000. Of course, great. They're going to do the same process and they'll cut you a check for what the valuation of the vehicle is, and you don't have to worry about anything. The reason why I bring this up is because you can always sell it on the street, right? But then you have to worry about negotiation, going back and forth. And a lot of times when you're dealing with that large amount of cash, I don't know if you guys want to do all that, but sometimes people do a Craigslist transaction inside their bank. Just something you guys should think about too, okay? So that's number one, is that a lot of people don't know that you can just walk in, sell your car to them. Now, of course, they don't buy every car. If it's junk, right? I almost said something else. If it's junk, they're probably not going to be interested, okay? But again, if you have a car that's fairly decent, just take it up there and at least see, right? So that's number one. Number two, they have a very strong subprime program. If you guys been watching my channel, subprime is a nice word for bad credit, right? So they have a great subprime program, and with this program, I'm talking like they finance a lot of people all the way as low as 400. So they got a lot of different banks, and they also have an in-house bank. Now that's another thing as well too. With the in-house bank, it doesn't work like a buy here, pay here, but they buy very, very deep, very similar to a lot of these big. Well, I'll give you guys a video on all the banks that that specialize in subprime. But either way, this one in particular, when you finance with Carmax, usually that means your credit was not the best, okay? But again, they do have a program for people that may not have the best credit. You don't have to have phenomenal credit to go through Carmax. That's something to look into. Then number three, they have no haggle pricing. That doesn't mean that you cannot negotiate. That just means that they're going to be pretty firm on their price, and it's going to be a pretty fair price. Most of the time when they have people that, of course, they go online and look to see, first off, they'll have a car, and they'll look to see what the competition is doing within, a 1 to 2 mile radius. And then, of course, if they're going to try to be a little bit lower, not substantially like $1,000 or something like that, but a few $100s. Now, of course, does that mean that things are not going to be negotiable? You can always try to negotiate if you want to, but if you don't want to go with the whole back and forth thing and you just want to get like a decent fair price on a used car, now, of course, you'll be able to go through that process, but keep in mind, it's still Carmax. What does that mean? With Carmax, they sell everything. So people are not going to specialize in it. They may know how to like activate your Bluetooth or, you know, show you how to save a radio station. But like everything else, all the rest of the main equipment, they're not specialized in those vehicles. How do I know that? Well, when I worked at Nissan, we used to have to take tests probably every 2 months, every 3 months, every time. And it was like on the same vehicles back to back. You had to keep taking the same test over and over. It's going to pop up again. I'll say that to say that was on just the Nissan lineup. Imagine learning about, you know, diesel and all the rest of this stuff, and, you know, all these different brands and, you know, gas mileage. It's a lot of stuff to learn. So I say that to say, don't expect brand customer service. Just expect car customer service. Like, again, Bluetooth, where's the gas tank? Do I put 87 gas in there? You know, so just basic stuff like that. When you start going into, well, what's the coefficient of drag? Some of you guys are like, what the hell is that? I still don't know what that is. That's all. I'm sure I'll get a comment on it, right, from one of you gearheads. So, but either way, yeah, so that's the top 3 things that most people don't know about Carmax. Thanks for watching. And of course, if you like this video, like it. You want to share it, share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe as we have nothing but great content on the way. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.